Moving on to this week's debrief. Could these airless tyres be the future of puncture protection? I've been messaging this company every week. They probably hate me.
For 1 week?
For one whole week. No, for months. Probably a year since someone messaged me about them. Because we featured airless tyres on Cade Media before, even when it was just me. And tested them. They haven't always been that good. Emily used to ride some airless tyres to work, didn't you? Back in London.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. And they have always been a massive compromise. You never get punctures, but they've been really harsh, like really harsh. If someone gets this right, it would be amazing. And a company called the Smart Tyre Company have made a set of airless tyres in collaboration with NASA. Is that right? And they've got a weird new material. The tyres contain a hollow metal structure, which is lightweight, highly flexible, very strong, and snaps back into its original state. They can basically never deflate, and they have a tread. They can be retreaded after a certain amount of years. So if you eventually wear out the tread on the outside, you can have that reapplied. Because it's a hollow structure, it should feel less stiff and uncomfortable than a solid tyre like Tannis, which is the ones that we used.
Which are horrible.
But to reiterate, like there's a clip from one of the videos that we had where we dropped the bike on the floor in the shop and it just goes, doof. It's just not, it's crazy how stiff they are. Unusable for some people, I would imagine. The same technology was used for the Mars rover, where fixing a flat tyre is not an option. So that's where the technology came from. They launched on Kickstarter this week and have already raised over £100,000. Their original goal was £20,000. We might order some if we can't get in contact with the company. Ideally, it's one of those weird Kickstarter things. So they end up, you buy it, and there's no official promise that you will get something, but you're essentially backing them. And then if you do get it, it's going to be months and months. We want it a little bit quicker here. So if anyone from Smart Tyre Company is listening, please send us some.
I think they could be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it feels like they are the airless tyre that we've always wanted because punctures are rubbish, especially in the UK where roads are crap and off-roads are covered in thorns and horrible stuff.
Yeah.
I'm furiously optimistic.
Yeah.
And therefore, I'd like to get a set. And if we have to buy some, isn't like if we have to go down the normal channels of waiting a couple of months to get some so that we can make some videos and actually tell you guys if they're any good, so be it. But I'll probably get a set just for me, just because I'm interested anyway.
Yeah. I don't want punches. Like I know a lot of people, and in that first ever video we posted about solid tyres, people are like, what's the point? They're never going to be good. But they do serve a purpose. And your example was perfect, Emily, of you were riding to work.
Yes,
right?
exactly. I used to work night shifts as well through London. So I just did not want to have to stop for a puncture. And also just like,
because it's dangerous?
Because it's dangerous. Yeah, I just didn't want to, I felt quite vulnerable if I was stood at the side of the road trying to fix a puncture. But also, on a morning, if I give myself 20 minutes to get to work and I puncture, then I'm going to be late for work as well.
Yeah.
So
if it's only a 20-minute ride, yes, it was a bit of discomfort, but the trade-off is worth it. If they can make these twice as comfortable.
More like 100 times
100
more comfortable.
They really were bad, weren't they?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Not as bad as the ones with the holes in. Do you remember those weird ones? They had like loads of holes. It was like drillium. But it didn't make any difference.
They're all equally bad.
Yeah.
They're all terrible.
Well, we've got some on the floor there, some new ones.
Not interested.
Even cheaper.
They're not going on a bike. They take a week to put on a bike.
I got them for you as a present.
They take less to take off because we had to cut them off. And they're just terrible.
That's
and
true.
If you remember rightly, they're an absolute sketch fest and just slide everywhere.
That is also true.
And I like skidding, so if you skid one of them, you then got a flat.
I wonder how much these will end up costing RRP, because the Kickstarter is outrageously expensive, but I'm sure that's not how much they will genuinely cost.
How much is it?
It's like $500 or something.
yeah, it's $500, about 400 quid for a set of just the tyre. You can buy a wheel set as well, but for just the two tyres, it's £400.
Oh yeah, you can get them installed on a set of alloy and carbon wheels.
Oh really? That's quite.
But they just say carbon wheels. So what does that mean? Does that there's quite a few different different types of wheels.
Well, it'll just be generic carbon.
Well, yeah, but what? Quick release through axle? What?
Well, they'll ask you for that afterwards.
Yeah. And then they'll realise it's more effort than it's worth.
It looks great.
It looks cool, doesn't it? For the people just listening, the tyre, it looks like a blue, I think you can get different colours, but it's like a blue semi-transparent circle in the shape of a tyre and you can see the fibres inside. We see it looks almost like a coil of metal stuff. And the example on their website of that material, do you know the name of it? There's a name for the material itself.
It's something like shape memory alloy or something like that. It's an alloy.
It can go back to exactly the shape it was, whatever they want it to be. It can always return to that shape. A bit like carbon fibers, like really, it wants to be in the shape it was made in, doesn't it? Once it's been put into a weave. So, I don't know, I'm excited to try these. I want them. I want them now.
Do you think if they remained at £400, but they were phenomenal, they work great, obviously you're still going to, I'm assuming it's some sort of like tyre outer, which is still going to wear down over time. Do you think that's still good value?
If it was good.
It has the potential to be.
Because how many winters of cycling could you, say for like roadie, the use case for a roadie is winter tyre. You don't really care.
I disagree. I think it's all year round.
What, out riding?
Yeah.
Or would it would be slow?
So what? What is your obsession with performance? Who gives a shit?
That's the kind of people I ride with. As I say, roadie.
So, well, yeah, as a roadie, I would still rather go on a road ride with those tyres if they are 5 minutes slower over 40 kilometres, because I know guaranteed I'm not going to have to faff about on the side of the road and get my hands dirty.
It depends how much slower they are. It depends how much slower they are.
I still wouldn't care. I would still rather these than get punctures.
Yeah, but with the greatest respect, you ride with different people to the people that I ride with.
Well, I still don't think it matters. Ride with people that aren't dicks. Like, you know,
Now there's just a certain pace, isn't there? There's a certain pace you want to ride. There's a certain capability that your bike needs to meet, like a certain requirement.
No, I think that represents a very small proportion of
it
people
does.
riding their
It
bikes.
does. But there's a lot of people like that who that's the kind of riding they want to do. And perhaps if this tyre is not fast enough, they won't use it unless it's winter thing. But if it's going to save you tons of money all through winter, like if in the space of, because they say it will outlast, as long as it's retreaded, which I imagine won't be too expensive, it will outlast the rider. Is that what it says?
I think, based on how much tyres now cost.
What, for a decent, 50 quid a pop?
Well, even for not decent, you're still spending 40 quid, 50 quid for 2 tyres.
You can get some all right tyres for 25, 30.
A normal person to change their tyres, it's at least 50 quid.
Yeah.
So if these are 400 quid and they last a decade, if they last 5 years,
pay for themselves.
Then obviously it depends how hard and how much it costs to reskin them, and obviously how comfortable they are. But they even at £400, it has the potential to be a good value product.
My fear is that the retreading them is going to be expensive.
It sounds
like that's going to be that you're going to end up spending the same.
But perhaps not. Perhaps, like fitting a tubeless tyre is a nightmare. Maybe it's just that you like peel it off and stretch a new one on, and you can do it yourself. But I don't know, speculation. Who knows what it's going to be? I think that, as with all products, or new products, it takes time for the price to come down. So I think it's very likely that if this product takes off, the price will come down. But I still would expect it to be significantly more expensive than a couple of tyres that last, however many thousand kilometres and then end up, in most cases, going in the bin.
Yeah.
Is this product more sustainable then? Because in theory, there's perhaps less wastage. I don't know.
Again, the tread just looks like a piece of tyre.
Yeah.
Rubber. So
there's less of it though, isn't there?
There is less of it.
And also presumably no inner tubes going to waste.
Yeah.
Or silicon sealant stuff.
I reckon this is, my prediction is that it will be a significantly better version of a Tannis, and it will have the same sort of market. It will be the same sort of person that wants it. It will be, you're riding to work, you definitely don't want a Puncture commuter thing. It will not be used by performance focused people.
Yeah, but
when I say performance, I mean like going for a proper ride. in inverted commas.
Terrible.
It's true.
You're on the wrong podcast. You should be with the Nero boys. I massively disagree, because if this is a good product, I would use it first. The first thing I would do is put it on all my bikes, because then I don't have to think about sealant or tubes or having to change
How much
puncture.
that would cost in one go?
No, but the point is, it's still a good investment.
Yeah.
If I can afford it, it's still a good investment. I'm not going to be going like, oh, it's 2 kilometers slower. I'm going to have to do more watts. I'm going to go, well, it's all right. You're going to be on the side of the road changing your puncture, and then I'm going to go past you like a turtle.
So it's not going to be 2K an hour slow. It's going to be like way slower.
You don't even know that.
It's my prediction.
You're so obsessed with performance that you're like, yeah, it's going to be shit. It's definitely shit, not for me.
I am open. I am being open to it being good, but
Good but slow.
good but slow. Yeah.